They say 7 out of 10 breakups among couples are caused by money problems. So today we talk about the best way to manage money as a couple and therefore avoid strife. I'm Edric Mendoza and this is On the Money. Our guests today are Marc and Gigi Brillantes, two doctors who have found a great formula to manage their money as a couple. Hello, Marc and Gigi.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're very excited to hear your tips for couples. I love talking about couple and how they manage money. Let's start with similarities. I hear that apparently you both have birthdays that are similar, one day apart.
Yeah.
Right? And you're both very kuripot or frugal. So
yeah,
can you tell me what other similarities do you guys have when it comes to money especially?
Well, we both are not into spending. We're not big spenders. We're not into luxurious items.
Right.
And we try our best to save.
Right. So instead of a Rolls Royce, you get a BMW. I'm just kidding. No. So not into big, flashy things, which you would expect as a stereotype for many doctors who are succeeding in their career. So both of you have you been that way from the start, or did that happen as you got married?
I think we've always been that way.
Okay.
From the start.
Yeah,
yes.
because early on we already realized that we're only good as long as we do clinic. So after age 60, 70, when we stop clinic, then we will starve. So we better build a nest egg to be able to take care of us.
Right.
So ever since then, we've always saved and then invested, initially in real estate.
Okay, well, let's get a little bit more exciting. What differences in terms of money? Do you have any source of conflict when it comes to money?
Fortunately, I would say with Gigi and myself, we do not have a major financial arguments.
Issues.
Yes.
Okay, what is the closest difference that you might have when it comes to how you view money? Or how you use it, or
Difference,
yeah.
Not really major differences, like
That's a curveball, huh?
I know. No, so there are none?
Maybe just deciding where to eat or where to go.
Okay.
Yeah, small
Very minor.
differences. Very minor.
Right. And in your case, because the statistic we had was about 70% of couples fight about it.
Yeah.
Did you talk about money and how you handle it before you got married?
No, that also was never talked about. But
You know,
we
the
learned
reason
is
why,
really rare.
the reason
Yeah,
why
okay.
is he's always been a very good husband, and he has always given me all the income,
Right.
but I have to be accountable
Right.
to him,
Look
to
at
the
that.
last
I
cent.
see that smile,
Yeah.
you know. He's been a great husband. It's 24 years married, is that right?
That's why it's
Okay.
never been an issue.
I
The big
see.
decisions, of course, we decide
Jointly.
I see. So there's a very clear definition of the roles when it
Correct.
comes to
Yes.
how to handle money. Okay, now, because of your jobs, cardiologist and surgeon, you both are expected to have quite substantial income when it comes to your professions. Do you have a percentage of how much you set aside from the income you make, and is that something you both agreed on, even at the start?
Well, through the years, I would say about 50% is put back into savings.
50% is put back into savings.
About
Okay. What would you
like
say
that.
is a good percentage to start with for couples who are newly married? Because 50% seems quite substantial in terms of what you'll set aside.
10-15%.
10-15% is for you guys.
Good to start somewhere.
How are you able to keep your spending levels within that 50% that you mentioned earlier? I'm sure there are months that you spend more, or any guidelines or principles there?
Our only luxury, as I mentioned before, was travel.
Travel.
But aside from traveling, we are not big spenders. We have broken out of that mold. As a physician, you're supposed to live up to a certain image. You're supposed to drive a certain type of car.
Yeah, that's the stereotype, right?
Yeah.
Especially as you grow in your practice.
Dress
But,
up
yeah.
in such a manner. But we luckily have. We try our best not to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, we
Right.
we have a car. Any car that takes us to where we
Point
want to
A,
go,
point B?
is okay. So that's it. We don't
It
don't
need not
buy
be
expensive cars.
luxurious.
Need not be even the gadgets. If you can call and text with this old phone, then that's okay. Unless you are gifted with an iPhone, then
Then you can use it.
Which is what happened to
Yes.
us. We don't-
Okay, yeah.
I see. Yeah, which is what happened to you were saying, right? As you got those things, then use it. But you're very pragmatic, apparently. That's been the secret. If
Yes.
it does the job, That's it.
Yes.
Any other secrets to how you're able to break out of that mold? Because I don't think it's just for doctors, but many other people. I have to do this as I grow to show people, you know, how did you guys keep a low profile, if you will, when it comes to spending?
I think it's about we know our worth, and we don't need outwardly stuff to show
That's a
what
very
we
good
are
principle.
worth. So
Another
I
good
think that's
aspect would be because we love to read, and early on we started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad by Kiyosaki and also the Billionaire Next Door, and this helped us put a mindset in how to approach money and financial matters. Because as physicians, we are not knowledgeable in this aspect, no? And we admit that, and therefore but through reading, we realize that you need not be in that rat race or in that kind of mindset.
It's good to study and
and then
research things, yeah.
happily we came across money doctors, and that has made a big difference since last year about our strategies in financial management. One big thing is it has taught us that if we focus on building up like to this amount, then that can already take care of our passive income throughout the years to come. So that has given us a focus point that we have to save until we reach this amount, and then we can already lie low.
True enough, through our
Yeah.
reading, we learned that you have to distribute your finances to other instruments. But we never had the courage to do that until through the
You met with
advice
them.
of Joe and Annette Ferreira,
Yeah.
which help us with their in-depth analysis and advice.
Right.
So we meet them at least monthly or twice every 2 months, and they tell us how to invest, where to invest,
Right.
and this has helped us.
Okay, so having a financial planner
Yes.
sometimes,
I
or
think
in this
that
case,
is-
was very helpful.
yeah.
For a year, you said,
Yes.
ongoing about?
About.
And I like what you talked about focal points. Tell me about, I understand you have people you also sponsor for education.
Oh, yes.
As a focal point. Did you want to talk more about that?
Yeah,
Gigi?
ever since I grew up knowing that my parents sent some kids to school. So I grew up with that mindset, and I knew that if we are blessed enough, then if we can do it, we will also continue the tradition. So we have been sending some scholars to school, and in fact, 2 of them are already nurses in the States.
That's right.
So
Must feel good,
that's
huh, to be able
very
to help people like
gratifying
that,
to
yeah.
have made a difference in their lives.
Right. And can you say that maybe that's one of the keys also why you don't think about how you can flaunt your wealth rather than how you can bless people with the wealth?
Yeah.
Is
That's
that been a
true.
key?
Like if instead of buying an LV bag, I mean that's another 1 year of tuition for another
That's
kid.
good perspective, right?
Yeah.
We
Okay.
talk that way often.
Yeah,
Right.
we talk that way. We were telling each other the other day, you know what? I don't think that if we win the lotto, that we will buy a BMW. We will still not buy. Maybe we will just,
Right.
we will just increase the number of our scholars. Something.
What would your advice be, maybe as we wrap up this segment, on couples who might have disagreements with money? How can they emulate more of what you do?
I believe communication is very important. So a relationship, an open relationship is vital to your financial health, no? As a couple.
Yeah.
And openness is necessary.
Yeah, and I think the first thing is to set a goal. What is your financial goal? What do you aim to
That's very
be?
good advice.
What you aim to be in life? You know, so that they can talk about how to get there.
If they know where they're going,
Yeah.
they can.
It's also good
determine that.
to find a partner who
Right.
agrees with you in the same area.
That makes a lot of
financially,
sense.
right?
That
Even
is the
before
first
you
step.
decide to
Yeah,
marry.
that is the first
Excellent.
step.
Right. So you will see
Yeah.
that already with your future partner or spouse. More or less their spending habits, how they treat money. And this is...
Do your due diligence
Yeah.
before. This is great advice. We're just going to have to take a break right now, so stay with us on The Money. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Joining us now is Miss Rose Fresfaust, a personal finance advocate, author, and even columnist. She's here to join us to talk about couple finance, which is one of my favorite topics. Welcome, Rose. And hi, Mel. Mel's here to, of course,
Edric.
talk about the money questions you have for us. So again, hi, Mel. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Edric. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Mel.
So this topic is there's a lot of activity on Facebook about this right now.
Lot of buzz.
First of all, I mean, what did you think about our couple, Gigi and Marc?
That
and
makes
I'm
sense.
actually very happy that very early on in their marriage, they already knew their values about money, and that's probably what I want to discuss right now, because we go on with life, chasing stuff and all that. However, it is very important that the very first thing that you should do is actually to know your very core values. And when we talk of core values, these are the things that are very dear to us, that we are willing to sacrifice for, work hard for, and sometimes probably even die for. So these are not material things. These are probably examples that I can think of. If you value security, freedom, family, spirituality, and this should be our guide in the way we deal with money.
Makes sense.
Right. And,
Makes a
you
lot of
know,
sense.
they're both frugal, even though they've obviously accumulated quite a good amount of wealth. They're both frugal. And they had no issue with Gigi handling all the finances.
Yeah, and the big decisions was Marc's, right? That dynamic worked well. It's amazing how they didn't even talk about that before they got married. But for many people, I think it's important that they discuss it even before.
That's right.
Yes, actually.
Right? Because
So
otherwise, they'll be
true.
part of the 70% statistic.
Actually, our first question is related to that.
Let's talk about
yes,
that.
so Dindin sent us this question via email. He says, I feel like my partner is not telling me everything about her financial situation. What can I do without offending her?
You know, if you're already that intimate, you could probably start with these are the expenses that we incurred during the month, and then let's go through it together. Where do you think can we save? Maybe they could try to save up for a certain dream, like probably a great vacation together, things like that. You know, you have to really feel it your way because it's really to each his own. So I wouldn't really know the dynamics of
What main things should he ask her about money, right? Because if he wants to find out about her financials, maybe there are things that they need to know and some things they don't need to know.
maybe he's probably thinking, does she have great loans, big loans?
That's a good
Yes,
question right
exactly.
now.
Where
He
is
wants
she
to know
Mel
financially?
knows. Debts.
So
debts.
so you actually probably he could start with a dream that they could make together, and then for you to make a roadmap to reach that dream, you should know where you are.
That makes sense.
So
Yes.
That's a good
when
point.
you try
Very
to
good
find out
suggestion.
where you are,
So
then
here's the
okay,
goal,
honey,
and then
what
it'll
are
start
your
coming
debts?
out, right? Yeah.
That's a very good way to
creative,
do
yeah.
it. I like that. So it's not so in your face. It's,
Yes. It
let's
doesn't put
save
you
up
against the
for
wall.
this.
Yeah.
Where are we right now? I'm here. Where are you?
How do
right?
we get
and
there?
then she should start opening up. If she doesn't,
Exactly.
then
Then it's a red flag. It's a red flag. If
Yeah.
your partner does not want to tell you their financial situation, it's a red flag. And you've either got to find out, and if they don't want to tell you, then maybe get out.
Get out, get out.
Yeah.
Don't be a part of the 7 out of 10 anymore.
That's right.
Let's lower that stat.
Okay,
Lower.
Shauna sent us this question via email, and she asks, should couples handle budgeting separately, or should one handle all the money? How do you determine who should take care of the budget?
Again, this is really to each his own. I can only speak for my own situation.
Right.
And it so happens that my husband and I share the same money values.
Good for
So
you.
everything is really joint. Everything is full disclosure.
Right.
No hidden income whatsoever.
Or debts, things like that.
Yes,
right?
no hidden debts. And I like the way the couple earlier said that they also know what's going on in
Yeah.
each other's accounts, right?
Transparency.
And I think it's Gigi who is really so OC about it, and she
Super.
makes
Right?
Down to the
Apparently.
last 20 pesos. She budgets it in
Keeps
her
everything in
book.
track, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
However, I still also know other friends who have separate accounts.
Yes.
And you know, sometimes it usually happens when the girl earns more than the guy. Ha!
Interesting, really, huh?
Okay.
To protect her, is
I
that
don't
the
know.
logic behind it?
I don't know. That's double standard and all.
It is a double standard.
Yeah. So, however, for you to be able to meet your dreams, to fulfill your dreams together, you should really be on the same page.
Makes sense.
Yes.
You should really know what's going on in each other's
Right.
financial.
So maybe agree either everything is joint, or they could divide it. One joint account,
Yes.
2 separate accounts.
Yes.
Share the expenses in that joint account percentage wise, right?
Yes. The
So-
most important is for it to be really clear. Cuentas
Yes.
claras, so to
Yes,
speak.
and-
Okay, now Christian Santos posted this on Facebook, and he says, if both husband and wife are working, both have good jobs, and both are also good at handling money, would you recommend them handling their own money and that they just share their monthly expenses?
I think that's very similar to the previous question.
Yes, it
Again,
is,
to each his
actually.
own.
Yeah.
And you should also take into consideration your weaknesses, your strengths, so that you are able to make use. So if your wife is something like Gigi,
Very
then
detailed, right?
let her
Yeah.
handle, come up with your monthly income statement, balance sheet, which is what I really advocate for everyone. Diba? I've always been telling you guys, everybody should have a balance sheet.
Yes.
Know it the way you know your waistline, your blood pressure, your height.
Know that too, right?
Yeah, you
Okay,
should
I
know
should
your
know
net
that.
asset value the way you know those vital statistics.
I obviously
Add
need
that
to
to
know
the
my
next set
vital
of
statistics.
vital statistics, right?
That's right. So I suppose they should just decide. What about investments? Should they share their investments or should they have separate investments? What do you think?
For me, they should share their investments because,
Okay.
you know, we really have the community property law in the Philippines anyway. So whatever, for example, you are husband and wife, whatever you earn, she owns, and vice
Vice versa.
versa. So there's really no point in
Okay.
all this
Separating
hidden
those things.
income because do you still want to go to court to settle those things?
Right.
It's
Well,
really,
you'll have
it's really
to anyway.
community.
Separate, like, you gotta go
separate
to court
episode,
anyway
I
and
think.
separate it. So now we asked our friends in social media their thoughts on our topic for today, and there were so many comments actually. Anyway, we have Carla Porticos who says, my husband and I contribute to what we call common funds, and if there's an extra expense, whoever has extra shoulders this extra expense. I handle my own money, he handles his. As for the expense for our children, we contribute, and it doesn't matter who contributes the bigger or lesser amount. What do you think
They're
of
all
that?
in the same grain of
Yeah.
questioning, I think.
I think so,
I
too.
would be giving the same answer. For me, I would like it to be communal. However, if you still want something that you don't have to ask permission for,
Discretionary,
yes, have your fun fund.
Fun
Right.
money.
Fun.
Fun money fund. FMF.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun fund.
right.
FF.
I was just thinking that when you're a couple and you have your financial goals, and like Gigi and Mark, they are now trying to venture into other passive investments. I was thinking that they should also be looking at their core competence.
For example.
For example, they're both medical people. I know a doctor who's actually a kidney transplant surgeon. He bought this really expensive machine, which is for rent. And if you are like a kidney patient, you always have to go through some tests before.
You can use the machine.
Okay.
So that is a passive income that has something to do with his core competence.
I see.
So aside from his
It's very good advice.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And actually, there's this cameraman I heard from my niece, who so all those teleseries would really require portalets, right?
Right.
So he actually invested in portalets.
Smart man.
Smart,
There
very
you
smart,
go.
because he's in
Yeah,
the
he's
industry
there and he knows
where,
what it's
where
like.
he,
Yeah.
he knows they need these things
That's
and he
very
can make
good
money
advice.
from it.
Yes.
Because the problem is when you listen to your advisors, they would be giving you the products that they're very familiar with.
Of course.
But you should
But they
also
don't think about the core competence and how they can make money off of that. Okay, well, anyway, thank you so much, Rose.
You're welcome.
Please send us your money questions via email, Facebook, or Twitter, and we'll try to answer them in our upcoming episodes or on our next Q&A Friday.
Transparency, full disclosure, and working on the strengths.
And fun.
Fun, right?
Fun
Love this
money.
discussion. You know, tips that'll help couples strengthen their discussion on money in their marriage. Thank you, Rose. Mel, that's our show today. Join us tomorrow for more talking tips so you're always right on the money.